surprise for your nose and your eyes. Imagine all the possibilities. Caan Floral.
Hi, I'm Tom Caan, and we're here at Caan's Floral today, and we're taking geranium cuttings. The date today is February 28th, the last day of February. We usually take geranium cuttings up until March 15th, and then we'll have nice plants for Memorial Day. So I'm going to show you the process we go through. If you're wondering what we're doing out here this time of the year, if you notice, we're surrounded by geraniums all around here. We have all different colors, and we've got to keep track of that. They're at a young stage, they're not finished. Step one, we're going to take a cutting of the geranium. This is happens to be one called Fantasia Coral, and I'm going to show you exactly where we cut. Remember, we've got a clean, sterilized knife. Some people just snap them off. We choose to use a knife. The problem with using a knife is if you get a disease on it, you'll spread it to every plant you touch after it. So we got to make sure we have clean stock and a clean knife. But this is where we cut. We always like to cut right below a node. Now a node, if you notice where the leaves come out, this is a node right above that. So we always cut right below the node, just like that. And then this is what we're after here. And then if you notice this plant, now there's 2 or 3 shoots going to come out. This will make the bottom plant better. It will be fuller because of pinching it. And when we're cutting them, we can cut maybe 4,000 a day. And I'm going to show you now how normally I'm doing it. We're usually I'm not being so precise. I'm just going one right after another. And this happens to all be the same color that I'm working on right next to each other. We try and keep the same color together. This one, like I said, was called Coral. Red is our most popular, but all these other colors sell really well too. I just keep right on moving along here. If one doesn't look good, I skip it. Every now and then I might get 2 off of a plant. These are just 4.5-inch pots that we're cutting out of. And they're just perfect right now for cutting. We could buy these unrooted cuttings in, but we choose to make some of them ourselves. And that's what we're in the process of doing today here. So I'm cutting them, then the next step is cleaning, and then eventually we plant them. Now we're at the second step of the geranium. We're trying to get rid of geranium cuttings, which we're going to show you the end result here shortly. But if you notice what Pascal's doing, he's cleaning all of the bad or the older leaves off of the plant, so when we plant it in the ground, it doesn't get fungus or mold growing on it because of all the leaves. So he's just cleaning. I cut a whole pile of them, you can see here. We don't want to let them touch the ground. We try and keep them as clean as possible. And we're going to clean all these. We actually put them in the refrigerator overnight, and then tomorrow we'll plant them right away in the morning. And we're going to show you how we plant those next. We use a rooting hormone to help them root faster, and a little overhead mist to get them to stay turgid or upright, so they're not drooping. All right, we're on step 3 of geranium propagation. Now we're going to dip it in a rooting hormone. We use one called Hormone 1. You can buy it in smaller containers. This is a greenhouse version. There's 1 pound in this container, enough to probably do 50,000 geraniums. So you wouldn't need this much as a homeowner. What we like to do is we dip it in the root tone. We just have a dish like this. We dip it right in there, just get a little bit on the end. That helps keep it from rotting out, and it gives you more uniform rooting. We want them all to root together. And then what we choose to use is a product called Furtis, which you could buy here. It was actually developed in France, and what it is a little bag goes around the outside of peat moss and perlite. It's wrapped inside there, and the reason we like that is when we plant, we can just pull the bag out and the root ball never falls apart. So if you're using just soil, which you can use also, sometimes when you're pulling them out of there, your roots fall apart. This keeps them intact, and it works out really well for us. These are a set of 25. Probably we're about the only place I know of where you can get them. I don't know of anybody else that would, like other outlets that would sell that, but if you want to get it, we're happy to sell it to you. They're probably like 15 cents a pop, and there's 25 in a set like this. So all we do is we dip it in the root tone, and then we plant it. And that's all there is to it. And then we like to put a tag on it telling us what color it is. So when we finally transplant them, I'm planting them here today. Somebody else might be finishing the job of planting them in the 4.5-inch pots, and we want to make sure that they know what color it is. Now, if you're planting into soil, like we have here, this happens to be dry. We like to plant, if you notice it's very dry, these couple are wet. We like to plant into a wet soil when we do it. So I'm just doing this for just show you what we would do. We would do the same thing with this cutting end, dip it in the root tone, and then we always use a pencil, make a little hole here, and then we plant it and have to pack it. Where with the Furnace Cube, we eliminate making the hole and packing it in there. So it's a quicker process and a cleaner process. We know these are sterilized, brand new. With geraniums, you're always worried about getting problems. If you notice, I'm wearing gloves today. You don't have to wear gloves. The reason I do it, my hands would turn orange otherwise. And then after we plant it, these were the misting nozzles, and we're gonna get mist. And we'll just, if you look over right there today, it's coming our way. Actually, we're gonna get soaked here in a minute. But that's how the misting works. Now we got our finished product. We're excited. If you notice, these are real nice young. These happen to be ivy geraniums. It's still February 28th, so these were planted about a month ago. And if you look at those nice roots on there, they're just waiting to be planted. So this is what we're after with this whole process. These then we will take out and plant into their final container, which these are going to be going into hanging baskets because they're ivy geraniums. Some of the other ones will be going into 4.5-inch containers. And the ones that we're taking the cuttings off of, we will be selling in April at our geranium sale, where the other ones that we just were cutting will be ready for Memorial Day. So this is basically all we want to end up with, is a nice wooded geranium ready to plant. You plant this, and then in about 8 weeks we'll have a final finished 4.5-inch geranium in full bloom for everybody.
Yeah, I got a surprise